Greetings. Happy November 11/11/11. This is going to be our daily message for November the 11th, 2020. So let's go ahead and go further into our message for today. I just love this message for us today. It's kind of going into our last message from November the 5th about breathing new life into dead things. So we're going to get into that. Also, in October, on the 31st, it was Halloween, and I was writing in my journal, and I had written about dead things being resurrected due to the story of the woman in the Bible. Her son was being resurrected from the dead. Elijah actually raised that child from the dead. So that's what God was appointing me to at that time. So this message is in regards to the story of Lazarus, which has came to me quite a bit. Last week, my sister mentioned Lazarus' story. Two prophetic words I came across mentioning within the last 24 hours. So, that's a sign, So the story of Lazarus you can find in John 11 and 1 through 45. So if you look up the name Lazarus in Hebrew, it represents whom God has helped, or God has helped is the name meaning. So that could be something significant for someone out there. So the message once again is that there's dead things or things in your life that you feel like are hopeless, nothing's moving, nothing's happening, or things that you've placed to the side due to a lack of faith or just not seeing movement. And this is an energy of how much do you really believe in the things that are seemingly impossible to renew or to restore in your life. And I'm guilty of this at times. And what I was getting was, carnal faith versus supernatural faith. Like, what do you really stand in? Where do you come from? Is faith based off of only what you can physically sense, or is it supernatural faith in the unseen, in the higher power, in the divine essence? So if we go to the story of Lazarus in the chapter John 11 and 1 through 25, if we look at that situation, Jesus said to Mary, "I am the resurrection and the life. The one who believes in me will live, even though they die. And whoever lives by believing in me will never die. Do you believe this?" And she said, "Yes, Lord, I believe this." So her brother was dead. Lazarus was dead for 4 days, like to the point where he was stinking. So it was like, from that, there's no way, you'd have to have complete faith in the supernatural and in the divine power to believe something such as that someone for 4 days would come back to life again, after they've, rotted and, that type of thing. So you have to believe even in the things that are seemingly dead can be resurrected into your life. You're not believing in these things based off of your human strength and perception. It's based off of a supernatural, divine belief. So carnal versus supernatural. Also, what stood out to me a lot of times when Jesus would, raise people from the dead, he would always say they are sleeping. They are not dead, even though they are physically dead. So it's like things that are seemingly no movement, no life, no possibilities, no opportunities. When you speak divine life over these things, you breathe back into the momentum and energy. So a lot of times the sleeping, it could represent the delays in time, but sleeping represents resting. So a lot of the time we're resting and preparing ourselves. We're not quite ready for certain things. a delay is not a denial. So a lot of times sleeping is our resting period, our restoration period, our preparation period. It's not a time for these things to take place just as of yet. So with the divine power invested within ourselves, we have the ability and the power to speak life back into these things, however we're led to and guided to, whether it's an affirmation, whether it's a vision. You've got this. And when you're in divine will, you will resurrect the things that are of your divine highest good. So this isn't just saying, an ex, I'm just going to try to resurrect an ex to come back into my life. If they're not good for you, especially if they're not good for you, God is going to restore hope into things that have life, not things that are not of our highest good, that kill the spirit and the soul. So if it's someone that was not good to you, that's not something of good things. So it's to restore hope, resurrect hope and faith and belief and passion back into your life. Not things that should have been, that, should be left in the past, excuse me. So God is of forward movement and a hope and a future, not of past things that no longer serve us. So also, healer, brings salvation and life into us, life restored. So anything that takes our joy and destroys our peace is not of our highest good. So I hope that this resonated with someone and this reaches you at the divine right time that you need it. And as always, I'm sending you guys much love. You guys have a great rest of your day. Utilize this portal 1111 energy. And I will catch you guys in the next message.